In this video, we're going to take a look at the Time Manager, which is available to us underneath Edit, down under Project Settings, and we can click on Time, and that'll bring this up. Now, there are only 3 settings in here. We have Fixed Time Step, Maximum Allowed Time Step, and Time Scale. The first 2 of these are a little bit on the technical side. Now, Lee, what are these?
All right. Well, once you start getting into scripting, there are 2 overrides in mono behaviors. Mono behaviors being a class that we derive in scripting. A lot of this will make more sense if you follow our more advanced training. You've probably seen them if you've gone through our first simple game videos. The 2 that I'm referring to is the update method and the fixed update method. Unity uses the fixed update method to update the physics engine that it's running behind the scenes, while update is an update that happens every frame. Now, the problem happens that with physics being an intensive type of calculation, you don't want necessarily to be running a calculation every update, because if your frame rate starts to lag, you're just going to cascade the problem. So what Unity has done is they've broken that out into a fixed update. So what that means is with the fixed time step, or the fixed time step, it's trying to run the fixed update at every increment that's specified by that value, which is 0.02 of a second.
Right. What you're doing literally is you're controlling how often that fixed time step method is going to be called.
Correct. But Unity Engine has the power, if it notices that the frame rate is starting to drop or lag, it will extend out that time step and it will run the physics calculations less often. You'll get a less accurate representation of physics, but it'll help maintain your frame rate in a higher number.
Which is where we come into maximum allowed time step, which becomes, that's kind of like a cap. That's the highest amount of time that Unity will allow that fixed time step to run before it says, okay, we've got to go on.
Correct, because you still have to run physics, because if it were to go, our frame rate's suffering, we're just not going to do physics. Anything that you've got with a rigid body isn't going to respond to gravity anymore. It's not going to respond to collisions.
Right.
And things are going to start to fall apart in your game and look really weird. So what it does is it goes, okay, we're only going to allow this much flexibility in adjusting our fixed update before we're going to force that to happen.
Right, and then things are actually going to slow down even further because we can't calculate our physics fast enough.
Correct.
But really, a 1/3 of a second delay would really be huge. I mean, you would definitely feel that in your game.
Right, and it's not just the physics that rely on the fixed update. When you start scripting, there are things that you can code into that fixed update overload that aren't critical and something that you don't need to run every single frame, but you still want it to run at a fairly regular basis.
That's right. Now, the very last property we have is very straightforward. This is time scale. This allows you to control how fast time is passing in your game. A value of 1 is more or less real time. If you cut this in half, things go half as fast. They slow down. If you push it beyond 1, things start to speed up.
Yep. It's kind of like bullet time and Benny Hill time, I would imagine.
Bullet time and Benny Hill time. That's amazing. Well, that is going to wrap up this quick description of the Time Manager. One more time, that's available underneath Edit, down under Project Settings, and here you'll see Time. So thanks a lot. That will end this video.